Hey everyone, I am professional photographer Ian Plant, and I've been doing landscape photography as a full time professional for 20 years. And during that time, I've learned a lot about how to make compelling landscape photos that stand out from the crowd. And in this course, I'm going to share with you some of my top pro secrets for making compelling grand landscape photos. So, grand landscape photos are typically wide angle photos. And because you're taking in this wide, sweeping view of the landscape scenery itself is often rendered somewhat small in the final composition. So, the trick to making this work, what makes this style of landscape photography so compelling and so dramatic, is that you have to incorporate really interesting foreground features into your composition. So, a good foreground is going to lead the viewer to the background of the composition. And then the icing on the cake is waiting for dramatic and colorful skies to complete the composition. So I spend a lot of time out there scouting for my landscape compositions. And I start off by identifying the background scenery that I want to feature in my grand landscape photos. And then once I've figured out the background, I get to work looking for a compelling foreground. I'm looking for something that's going to create an interesting or dynamic shape, and that is going to help lead the viewer deeper into the composition. So a good foreground should pass the viewer on to the middle ground and the background. And then the piece de resistance, the final component of a successful grand landscape photo, is waiting for dramatic and colorful skies. So you really want to wait for colorful sunrises and sunsets and twilight skies. You want magical weather that will make your compositions more interesting and will help you more effectively tell the story of the landscape. If you can bring these three ingredients together, that beautiful scenery, that compelling foreground, and dramatic and colorful skies, then you will make landscape photos that stand out and get noticed. And in this course, I'm going to teach you how. And you're going to find out that you don't need a bunch of expensive equipment to make effective landscape photos. That really all you need is a few lenses. And so my most used lens is a wide angle zoom. And you're going to use that wide angle zoom for most of these grand landscape compositions because a wide angle lens is going to allow you to bring in that dynamic foreground and those gorgeous sunrise and sunset skies. So if you want to learn how to make amazing grand landscape photos, then join me in this class. I'm Ian Plant, and thanks for watching.